Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. This is Power Breakfast on CNBC TV 18. Now, Infosys, remember, held its annual general meeting over the weekend, and this was CEO Salil Parekh's first, and he laid out a 3-year roadmap for the company. CNBC TV 18's Rukmini Rao reports.
Well, with Infosys celebrating 25 years of its public listing, and also, of course, Salil Parekh, the CEO MD of the company, addressing the shareholders for the first time around, he did take this opportunity to lay out his plan to the shareholders in order to kind of appraise them of the plan that he has for the company, the 4-pronged strategy that he has laid out, and also the 3-year roadmap really to get back the company on industry-leading growth. And of course, the chairman of the company, Nandan Nilekani, also taking this opportunity to really emphasize on the fact that stability is back in the organization. Of course, recounting how stability was perhaps one of the most important issues that was on the minds of shareholders when he took over as the chairman of the company. But however, in the last 1 year or so, the entire issue has been settled now in terms of any kind of discord between the management, founders, and also the various stakeholders of the company has been completely resolved. And with stability back, he of course went on to in fact tell the shareholders that the time has now come for the company to focus on growth, in which of course digital perhaps will play the key role, given the fact that this is the fastest growing segment for the company, and also close to 25% of the revenues of the company coming from digital. And of course, in the coming years, this is going to be one of the most key focus areas for the company to see their revenues growing.
Okay, on that note, let's hear out what Chairman Nandan Nilekani and CEO Salil Parekh had to say at the 37th Annual General Meeting of Infosys.
The last 9 months, we have done a lot of things, brought in stability. We have a united team, our focus. We have Salil has worked and come out with a very articulated and clear strategy. We have redefined the brand, and I think now the focus is on execution. We're all focused on execution. That's where the future is. I think shareholders will raise issues from time to time, and we'll deal with them. But I think the real focus is on our business. We want to focus on our business. We want to focus on our customers. We think this is the biggest opportunity we've ever seen. Our customers are undergoing enormous transformation and disruption, and we hope to build on this.
We created a strategy which is really resting upon 4 pillars. The first pillar is how do we build a new business in what is called the digital world. The second, we want to make sure that everything we've been doing for our clients so far in their core areas is further energized, and we are leveraging it with artificial intelligence. The third, we want to make sure that we expand the skill sets of all of our employees, and we provide an infrastructure that allows them to develop their own skills at the pace that they want as the market demands that. And the fourth, we want to make sure that localization in many of our markets becomes a part of our future, so that we become part of the new ecosystem as we grow, whether it's the US, in Europe, or in the Australian markets. We developed a 5-pronged approach on which areas to focus on. And this is a comprehensive architecture that we have built with our teams, with our lead of strategy, and with all of the management behind it to drive the future. In each of those areas, we have now constructed detailed service line structures that help us to guide how the future will evolve.
All right, that was Salil Parekh's first annual general meeting from Infosys. With that, we'll step into a short break. Come back, we talk about Tata Motors. They announced a comprehensive turnaround plan for Jaguar Land Rover. More details on that analyst day once we're back.
Welcome back. Well, the third annual meeting of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank will be held today and tomorrow in Mumbai. Now, this year's theme is Mobilizing Finance for Infrastructure, Innovation and Collaboration. Ahead of this mega meet, listen into what Economic Affairs Secretary Mr. Subhash Chandra Garg and Interim Finance Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal had to say.
Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, it is $26 billion project, right? That's not small. All the IAB put together is only a fraction of that. So let us complete the 2019 target, which is to make India ODF free, and then let us see what happens. And thereafter, if it is needed, it's on track, absolutely on track. You heard about Bharatmala, a project which is about $90 billion for 35,000. We have Sagarmala project. We have the renewable energy, 175 megawatt. So it is an enormous investment which is flowing in the infrastructure sector in India. Most of them we fund ourselves, but also we take multilateral funding. We also, many of them get into the private sector as well. It's in the fund of fund vehicle, yes, which will invest in creating several fund of, so it will invest in a number of funds. So two we have already conceptualized. One is a green growth fund in which the DFID is investing. Likewise, with them also we'll conceptualize specific funds where this money would be invested.
There's a lot of enthusiasm amongst the bankers to lend to particularly the MSME sector, the small businesses. They are very keen to participate in the growing infrastructure story in India. The country needed to strengthen the banking system, for which it is important to know what the reality of the banking system was. Prime Minister Modi believes that it was important that we should bite the bullet. Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley brought out the truth before the nation, and I think the nation will ever be grateful to Prime Minister Modi and Finance Minister Mr. Jaitley for having brought the reality to the front, for addressing the problems of the banking sector and strengthening them to once again start becoming a powerful engine of growth, financing infrastructure, financing the credit needs of industry, and the Indian banking system is now poised for very good times ahead.
All right, the banking system, as per the Interim Finance Minister, is poised for very good times ahead. But let's talk about Tata Motors. That stock will be in focus today. At the JLR Investor Day on Friday, the company laid out a comprehensive turnaround plan for the same. Rima now joins in with the key takeaways. Morning, Rima.
Hi, good morning. So first, the company said that they aim to grow volumes faster than the premium industry growth over the medium term. On margins, they indicated that the EBIT margin guidance over FY19 to 21, which is the medium-term guidance, would stand at 4 to 7%, which would compare with 4.2% margins that JLR enjoyed in FY18. Though they said that over the longer term, which is FY21 and beyond, margins will improve to 7 to 9%. On capex, they will be investing very heavily in the next 3 years, close to £4.5 billion over FY19 to 21. So that will be, seen as a positive because they are spending a lot on their new product launches. Though the capex to sales ratio will come down over the longer term to 12 to 13%. This margin guidance, because they are talking about improving margins over the medium as well as long term, that will be achieved by cost reduction, operating leverage, and thirdly, on the back of new launches. Some of the other key takeaways in their commentary was that FY18 was a bit challenging. The sales growth was lower than what the street was anticipating. That was an account of diesel uncertainty in EU and UK, Brexit, as well as a cyclical slowdown. They also indicated that incentives were higher in developed markets like US. The companies also indicated that they will not chase volumes in heavily discounted segments, which Merrill Lynch, implies that the Jaguar volumes will remain weak in highly competitive segments like sedans in North America. They've also planned 19 product actions in FY19, and thereafter 38 product actions from FY20 to 21. They expect the luxury car industry to grow at a meager 2.6% growth over FY18 to 21. And they're also talking about turning free cash flow positive after 2 years. So on the whole, the company's guidance is sales growth will be more than that of the industry, and they are looking to improve their margins and invest heavily in capex in the coming 3 years.
Okay, Rima, thank you so much for getting us those updates. So keep an eye out on Tata Motors today. The stock ended around 0.5% higher on Friday, an optimistic commentary coming in from the management. But let's take a short breather on the show as we slip into a break. Here is a weather report from SkyMet.
Hi, this is Fawzia. Welcome to SkyMet Weather Report. Monsoon has advanced over Gujarat region and some more parts of Maharashtra. Now we expect monsoon to cover more parts of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and West Bengal. On Monday, the offshore trough along the west coast will give moderate to heavy showers with very heavy spells over parts of Konkan and Goa, including Mumbai and coastal Karnataka, all over Kerala. In east and northeast, the circulation over East Uttar Pradesh and trough extending from this up to Assam will intensify the rains over Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha and northeast India. Up north, the western disturbance over Jammu and Kashmir will give light rains over the state, parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Meanwhile, dust storm and thunder showers is likely over northwestern plains, including Delhi. Finally, central, the cyclonic circulation over South Gujarat and Konkan region and trough extending from this system up to southwest Rajasthan would give moderate rain with heavy showers in parts of Gujarat, South Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Similarly, light to moderate rain may occur over southeastern parts of Rajasthan. Let's look at the temperatures. Delhi would witness a maximum of 43 and minimum 32 degrees Celsius. The day temperature in Kolkata would be 33 and night temperature 27 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, the maximum temperature would be 27 and minimum temperature 22 degrees Celsius. That's it. Wrapping up. For more updates, stay tuned to skymetweather.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV 18. Well, let's take a look how the cues are shaping up in the F&O space, and Manglam will tell us more on that. Manglam, how does the picture look like there?
Well, it's the expiry week, Anisha, and we start the Nifty being above that 10,800 mark. The sharp spurt in the last hour on Friday caused some purchase and some short covering as well. It seems as though because the Nifty June futures open interest did see some decline. However, it's the expiry week, so some rollovers might be taking place out there as well. So net sell 67 crores in index futures, but FIIs are still net short, 63% net short. That means long exposure stands at 37%. Any move upwards above that 650 to 900 range on the Nifty could spur some short covering. Remember, expiry week, all about momentum. And the Nifty June futures premium has turned into about 12 points as against the discount that it was trading at on ahead of Friday's trading session. The put-call ratio has moved higher to 1.65, so a lot of put writing is what we saw. 10,700 put added close to 8.7 lakh shares. Support at the lower end, 10,800 put should come up for you. That one too added close to around 8 lakh shares with a premium of 40 rupees. That's telling you 10,750 will be a support for the Nifty. 10,800 call writers, they were the most scared after that spurt that we saw. 13 lakh shares shed in open interest out there, along with the 10,700 call, which has been shedding open interest for the last few trading sessions. So this is the expiry week. 10,800 put and call put together. They have close to around 110 rupees in premiums. So 100 points above 10,800 and below 10,800 could be where we're seeing some sort of range. IDBI Bank entered the F&O ban along with some news piece, so that stock will be interesting. And SRF, that stock has been seeing a decline for the last few trading sessions and 34% spike in open interest for June. A lot of shorts added there.
Okay, Manglam, thank you so much for that. But on to the bullseye corner now. Our contestants this week, Samit Chavan, Ashish Kyal and Jay Thakkar, are battling it out for the strongest portfolio. Let's hear their picks for day one of the week.
Our first call is a buy call on Piramal Enterprises for a target of 2735, stop loss 2500. Second buy would be on RBL for a target of 580, stop loss 534. Third buy would be on Delta Corp for a target of 262, stop loss 236. And final call would be a buy call on Bajaj Finserv for a target of 6480, stop loss at 5990.
First call for today on the buy side is going to be Bajaj Finserv, and long positions can be created in this stock, keeping a stop loss of 6009 and expecting a target of 6670. Next stock on the buy side is going to be Jubilant Foodworks, and stop loss for Jubilant Food has to be kept at 1356, expecting a target of 1500. Another stock on the buy side is going to be Lal Pathology, and stop loss for Lal Pathology has to be kept at 906 expecting a target of 1006. And the final call is on the buy side is Page Industries, and stop loss for Page Industries has to be kept at 26,270, and expect a target of 29,160 on upside.
The first buy recommendation is on Apollo Hospitals. One can buy Apollo Hospitals for a target of 1070 with a stop loss of 999. The second buy recommendation is on Lupin. One can buy Lupin for a target of 924 with a stop loss of 887. The third buy recommendation is on M&M Finance. One can buy M&M Finance for a target of 514 with a stop loss of 489. Well, I've got one sell recommendation, and that is on Balrampur Chini. One can sell Balrampur Chini for a target of 63 with a stop loss of 68.
All right, those were the picks of all our bullseye contestants. But before we wrap, just keep an eye out in the Asian markets. There is weakness out there. The Nikkei extended its cuts, now sitting close to about 0.5% lower. The Hang Seng has now suddenly slid at the low point of the day, 150 points lower on the Hang Seng. Shanghai is still holding around, but remember that index is virtually at a 52-week low. So there we are seeing some bit of outperformance. However, if you take a look at the Korean markets as well as the Taiwanese as well as the Straits indices, all of them in a sharp shade of red. The Taiwanese index at the low point of the day, along with the Kospi as well. The SGX Nifty at the outset indicated a cut of close to 45 points on the Nifty. Currently, as we speak, that is the cut that maintains. So a start around that 10,780 mark is where we are poised to open. With that, it's a wrap on Power Breakfast. But you stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. Bazaar Morning Call comes up next. Thanks for watching.